There we go.
All right. Well, hey there, everybody. It actually worked. We're so excited. And welcome. This is truly, I don't think we can be further apart in the continental United States. I am Rob Schultz. I'm here in beautiful, warm, like in the upper 80s, low 90s, Sherman Oaks, California. And Lou is all the way across the country in New Hampshire,
where the leaves are falling off the trees and it's not quite 83 degrees. It's warm for October.
All right. So we are awesomely excited that you could show up here for our Video Profit Power Facebook Live. And I am really excited. I've invited my entire list for this amazing event because we are honored to be able to have Lou Bortone to tell us about video. And Lou is truly like video royalty. He goes back like 2006, 2007, which is almost like the dawn of YouTube. You've been around since YouTube started.
Dude, I looked and my first video was like 2 or 3 months after YouTube started.
Yeah.
Don't look for it. It's not pretty. So
yes, don't go back. Don't go back to the old videos. But you know, there's so much that's going on now with video, especially in the live video venue, and it's really easy to get sucked up in time creating video. And Lou and I both wanted to be sure that we were very specific on showing you avenues to video where you can use video and actually make money and actually build your list, actually build your authority, and actually build your visibility and influence and all that good kind of stuff. Because if you were a cat, you could roll around on the ground playing with yarn and get 1 million views. And unfortunately, most of us can't do that. So we have to find some other ways.
Down with yarn and nobody watched.
So this is what we're here for. We're glad you joined us. And I'm going to throw this to Lou right now so we can just jump right in and get started on these 3 powerful pathways to make a lot of money, build a large list, and start really kicking it in your business using online video.
Yes. Thank you, Rob. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to hang with you again and awesome. Your folks. I'm going to share my screen so that we can get right to it and not waste your time and just like get right to content. But feel free to interject anytime you want and behave yourself because you're still on camera in the corner there. So this is Video Profit Power, 3 Paths to Cash using video. I don't remember much from college, but I remember one professor in advertising that had his expression was, it's not creative unless it sells. And I guess you could say the same for video because, you know, if it's not at the end of the day, if it doesn't bring you more revenue, then what's the point?
That's a writer downer.
It is.
It's
not creative unless it sells. I can't take credit for it, but I do remember it from Boston College 1 million years ago. So I know everybody's hearing about video. It's the big buzz. It's the buzzword. Why do video? And I've kept it pretty simple. I'm not going to hit you with a whole bunch of stats. But video, in my experience and my clients' experience, is really the best way to get more influence, more impact, and more income. And I know you've probably been hearing this for a few years, but now it's more true than ever. So why should you do video now? And I'll just leave you with one staggering statistic, and that is that 89 million people in the United States alone will watch 1.2 billion videos today.
Wow.
That is a lot of video.
A lot of cats.
Yeah. Some of them are not even about cats. The most important thing to think about as an entrepreneur or a solopreneur or somebody with their own business is that businesses using video grow revenue 49% faster than those who don't. So I could give you a gazillion stats, but to me, that's the only one that really matters.
That's pretty huge.
Yep. So why should I tell you about this? I'm not really sure, but I did work obviously in the entertainment biz like Rob on the West Coast for many years. And these days I help entrepreneurs get influence, impact, and income using video marketing. So again, we're not going to give you a whole bunch of 20 minutes of introduction and hype and all that. We're going to jump right in and talk about 3 paths to cash using online video. And the fast path number 1 is basically building a tribe of engaged fans using Facebook Live. I was on an interview earlier today and somebody asked me what the absolute easiest way to do video is. And in my opinion, it's Facebook Live. You hit a couple of clicks on your phone and you are good to go. It is
it's really amazing. Even in some of my coaching groups, my preferred way of communicating at length with my clients is Facebook Live, because it feels intimidating. It feels like it should be scary and complicated, but it's really almost easier than posting a graphic. It's easier than that. They've made it so easy for you to get started.
It's click and go. And I think also what a lot of people like about it is that in most 99% of the time, you don't really have to edit it. You just shoot your video and it's done and it's up, and it gets a lot of play on Facebook. Facebook is giving tremendous priority and prominence to live video. And basically when you do that, it'll help you grow your list. It'll help you create a fan base, and it will help you develop relationships. And one of the examples I like to use as far as a success story from Facebook Live is my colleague and friend, Andrea Dre Beltrami. She started a private Facebook group not that long ago. And today that Facebook group has over 5,000 members.
Wow.
And again, she's sort of an introvert like me, but she's very over the top in terms of being kind of a badass. I mean, as soon as she put her personality out there and she started kind of being herself, that just exploded. And in my humble opinion, today I would probably rather have a Facebook group of 5,000 members than have an email list of 5,000 people.
Really? Wow.
I think they're more engaged. Again, if you look at Dre's Facebook group here, you can see she has 5,612 members, which anytime she wants to put something out there, like she's testing a product, she can do a poll and get, dozens and dozens and dozens of people instantly give her feedback on, like, okay, what product should I create? So I think it's really powerful. I think in the days of, low open rates, it is arguably more powerful than an email list.
Wow.
Hi, Rocco. Rocco the Pug has made his daily appearance. So that is number 1. Facebook group, Facebook Live. It's just a tremendous way to create engagement, to build a tribe. And it's probably not the fastest path to cash, but it's one of the most reliable.
Wow. Wow. And one of the things you said I was really interested in was once she started getting her kind of authentic personality out there. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be funny or crazy.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit more about why that connects using Facebook Live?
Well, it's interesting because Dre is a branding person, and, online branding people are kind of a dime a dozen. But once she sort of came out of like, okay, I do branding, and she was like talking about badass branding, and she would, when she'd do her Facebook Live, she wouldn't, she'd let a few 4-letter words slip or whatever. She was just very much herself.
Right.
She's self-described sort of, wine guzzling badass broad. And, I said, are you from New Jersey? She's like, no, I'm from Northern California. So completely, what you wouldn't think. But the more she put her personality into her videos, the better results she had.
And so that's a really crucial point and you don't have to use 4-letter words. You don't have to be out there and crazy, but it's just people connect with who you are authentically. And it's almost like you may think that's boring, but for other people, it's a source for connection. Right. And I just wanted to pause a moment because we're going to get to the other 2 profit paths in just a moment. But I've already received emails from people asking me. There's a lot of interest in this subject. A lot of people have emailed me already asking, is there going to be a recording? So there is going to be a recording, but there's another way that you can really We only have 20 minutes. We want to keep this short. We don't want to take up your whole day. But there's another way that I wanted to have Lou briefly talk about, where you can really tap into Lou's literally like 10, 15 years of experience in entertainment, doing online video, so that you can make use of that in your own business.
Right. And it's not a $997 $1,000 coaching program. It's a $9 Kindle book or a $20 hardcover book, which, you know, when you finally take what's in here and put it into a book or a course, again, it's just another way to generate revenue from video. But this really tells the story and spells out pretty much all the crazy stuff that's in my head for the last 7 or 8 years.
Yeah. And this is a book that has been about 8 years in the making. And, you know, I've known Lou and I actually did a joint video course back in 2010, which is 7 years ago.
Wow.
And Lou back then was already an authority in video. So this is a golden opportunity to get an amazing amount of what has been successful for Lou. Lou's done videos for Michael Port, Ali Brown, the list goes on, Nick Unsworth. It doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. So where can they go if they wanted to go right now and get that? What is the link where they can access that?
The easiest way is just to go to loubortone.com/rules, as in video marketing rules.
Okay.
We'll bring you right to the book on Amazon.
All right. So that's loubortone.com/rules. All right. Yeah. So
we'll go back to our screen share here and look at fast path number 2, if that sounds all right to you.
That's awesome.
So we talked about Facebook Live and Facebook groups and the power of that. The next is basically leveraging video podcasting, or what some might call video blogging or vlogging, for visibility, credibility, and profitability. Podcasting has really taken off again in the last few years, as evidenced by, let me pull up my slide here, the vast number of podcasts available out there. But the great thing about video podcasting is it helps you create impact. It builds your know, like, and trust factor very quickly because people become familiar with you. And this one is a crazy one. It gives you you'll never guess what this is, the I Flaky event. That stands for I feel like I already know you.
Ah.
I feel like
nothing to do with being flaky.
No, I mean, I'm a little flaky anyway, but when people meet me, and I'm sure it happens to you at events, they say, you know, I've followed you for a while and I know I've never met you, but I feel like I already know you. Wow. And that's powerful. And that's something that video gives you. And even with podcasting, which is not, you know, live video. Thank you, Christy. She says she loves that expression. Feel like I already know you. But you look at the vast number of podcasts out there. Again, it's gotten much, much easier to do podcasts, whether it's audio alone or video. And you look at the business podcasts that are out there, and these are all our colleagues and friends and, you know, social media marketing. And you look at some of the top podcasts, and some of them, you know, Pat Flynn, names that we all know, some names who are our colleagues. It's much easier these days to do podcasting. And if you want to take it one step further and do video podcasting, there is software out there, very inexpensive software, that will take your audio podcast and repurpose it to YouTube with a nice graphic and a little sort of sound wave. So it's compelling. It looks really interesting on YouTube. So now you're taking your audio podcast, you're giving it life on YouTube. And that software was created by our mutual friend and colleague, Hanny Mora. It's called repurpose.io. So if you have a podcast and you want to get it on YouTube as a video, do that with Repurpose.
Repurpose.io.
Yep. Awesome. And now, in the interest of time, I'll jump right to the third fast path to cash. And my favorite, and I think the quickest path to cash using video, is to create video products that will generate recurring revenue. There goes Rocco.
All right.
Rocco. Rocco gives his barking approval to creating video products.
Rocco loves passive revenue.
He does. Who doesn't like it? And really, that's where the income comes in. And when I say products, people think, oh my God, I have to do a 30 module course. And you really don't. It can be anything from a webinar to an online course to a short online course. It can be something that you basically create once and sell forever. And that creates additional passive income streams. And that's really powerful and important, especially if you have 2 kids in college like me. So it's really, really powerful to be able to create something once and then sell it over and over again. And a lot of people think, you know, oh my gosh, that's really hard to do, or it's a lot of content. Not necessarily. I mean, it can be as simple as a paid webinar or a webinar that you charge a fee for. It could be a launch campaign. It could be a video summit where you have other experts who are doing, you know, several webinars over the course of a few days. It can be online courses. It can be live workshops, continuity programs like membership programs, or you could even just use it as a lead magnet. So the great thing about video products is that they can be sliced and diced in so many different ways to create content and to basically, you know, lead you to income. I know when I say live workshops, I did something called Creative Live a couple years ago in San Francisco, and I was, you know, live on stage for a couple of days. You know, it was over 3 days, and I basically delivered content and taught a class to a small live audience in the studio, and then going out online to everyone else. And every quarter, I still get a check from that. It's like the Seinfeld effect. Now, it's not Larry David Seinfeld kind of money,
right?
But it's still a check, you know, 2 years after I did this thing, that people are still buying the course, and I'm still getting my cut. Another example of that is you can put a course on udemy.com. This is a course that I did a few years ago. Now, again, I'm not going to get rich from this course, but if you notice the little arrow here, I have 5,000 students.
Wow.
And again, you know, there are a few limitations to Udemy, not the least of which is they don't give you a big cut of the money, and you can't directly email those names like your email list.
Correct.
But I can reach them through Udemy, and I have, again, 5,000 people who have been exposed to my course and who could become buyers down the road. So, and it doesn't, you know, you don't have to create your own infrastructure. You can put that stuff on Udemy, a site which already exists. They do all the e-commerce, they do all the back end, you know, they do all the heavy lifting. Of course, they do take a cut of it, but it gives you exposure to an existing audience.
So you didn't do any emails, you didn't do any funnels, you didn't do like a launch for this. You just gave them the content or created the content for them.
No sales page. I created a, you know, a short, I think it was 4 video course, and uploaded it to Udemy, and they took it from there.
And 5,000 people know about you.
Yes.
Wow.
From all over the world. Apparently I'm really big in Turkey. So there you go.
Yeah.
Wow. A lot of Turkish students, or maybe they just think I'm a turkey. I don't know. The one other example of passive income and creating courses that I'll give you comes from another country, in Italy.
I love this.
And this is, I did a marketing retreat in Tuscany last year, and I sort of did an experiment. I started a course right before I left, and then sort of did this hands-off approach. Okay, I'm going to Italy to do my marketing retreat. Let's see what happens. And while I was in Italy drinking wine and hanging out with friends and teaching marketing, I was selling, I think around, in that 4 or 5 days, 50 courses, 50 of products that I'd created before I left. And again, I didn't do anything. I didn't go online every day. It was all set up ahead of time. It was completely passive revenue. And I'd get a little ping on my iPhone that says, you just sold another course for, you know, $49. So I would order another bottle of wine. So I call that drink wine, sell courses, repeat formula.
So this was you were in Italy with on this retreat, kind of on vacation. I remember seeing your Facebook feed and seeing pictures of you in Rome, and it looked like a lot of fun. And all the while that you were there, you were making money.
Yes, it was a beautiful thing, because I was also spending money. So
well, that's true.
Knowing that the income was coming in 5,000 miles away without me having to touch it, it was completely hands off. You know, just lined up ahead of time, and you know, truly, like I always thought passive revenue was a myth, but I mean, I proved myself that, you know, we didn't make $1 million or anything. We weren't doing that kind of a launch, but I was selling courses while I was gallivanting around Tuscany.
And the content in the courses was largely video.
Yeah, all video. So it was about video, product creation, video scripts, that kind of thing. And what I like to look at it, like the analogy I use is that, you know, video in some ways is like a faucet. When you need to turn on the revenue, you can promote your course and, you know, get your products out there and make revenue, which is a beautiful thing, because really my philosophy after all this time is that your video ultimately has one job, and people would argue with this, but I say your video has one job, and that's to generate revenue.
Yeah. So, and that takes us right back to that quote we led off the presentation with about it's not creative if it doesn't.
It's not creative if it doesn't sell. And then people always say, you know, I want more views on my YouTube video. It's like, you know what? Views are good for the ego, but cash is still king. So I'd much prefer viewers with their credit card out than just random viewers.
Correct. And the awesome thing about video is it not only create you not only create the content. Actually, once you know how to do it, it actually makes the content creation easier. And so it not only creates really, and people love video content. They love courses that are done with video because it's almost like having you there. Teaching them rather than have them having to kind of put out a lot of effort reading, going through pages and everything. And video for the marketing of the course, and then video for creating the connection with the audience so people trust you and know you and feel good about investing with you.
So yeah, and Marla's had a question here on the chat about repurposing in reverse. Can you do YouTube to a podcast? And you can absolutely do that. All you have to do is strip out the audio in an editing program on your video, and you've got an audio podcast. So it works both ways. And then all this whole video profit that we've been talking about, as you know, is just part of what I teach and what I reveal in the book. It's really just one step of many in that system. So obviously, you know, I want you guys to go get the book. So it's all there. It's all.
So put up the slide with the 7 steps again. I just want people to be able to take a look at that.
Yeah, I was proud that I make them all P words: purpose, premise, production, platforms, promotion, power, profit.
Awesome. So this is really, all of these 7 steps are really kind of the summary of what you've been doing for like the last literally over 10 years in online video, and long before that in the kind of the entertainment industry. What you know all boiled down to a book that just about anyone can afford to use. And now are there a lot of the resources in this book, the tools that people can use?
Yeah, and again, I didn't go crazy with, I mean, the tools are always going to change, and the apps are going to come and go. So a lot of it's really marketing principles, but I do share, I have a whole chapter on tools and resources and, you know, surprisingly low cost ways and hacks and ways to get around this. I mean, one of the tricks is I don't really like being on camera that much. So I tend to do these sort of PowerPoint based, you know, kind of webinar things. And there's a lot of tools for that type of video as well, because whether it's off camera or it's on camera, if it's on Facebook or YouTube, it's still video. So
this is, we've given you the 3 pathways to profit using video that are really either the most current or the ones that can bring you the most money. And for those of you who want to go deeper, this is an amazingly affordable resource. It's accessible. Lou is not a techie, crazy, you know, lots of technical language. He's a regular guy. He's funny. And he knows what he's talking about. People who have made a lot of money rely on Lou in the past when he was doing more video creation to create their videos. And now that he has really become a strategist and really a profit mentor, he's advised countless entrepreneurs on how to take his video knowledge and create launches with it, create products with it, create connection with it, build their list with it. And that's really the video is way more than tools. It's
Right.
about a strategy so that you can build your business faster.
Exactly. Yep. So it's really about connection. And you know, when people ask me about cameras, I'm like, you know what? It's not about cameras. It's about creating visibility, awareness, opportunities. I mean, you know, Rob, because both you and I had the experience through video of, you know, a guru like Michael Port reaching out to each one of us and saying, hey, I've seen what you can do with video and I want you on my team. And we're both, that's one example of somebody that we both work with who, you know, would have probably been out of reach for us had the video not opened up that opportunity.
Correct. Yeah, a lot of the people that I have connected with, you know, when I was starting out my career, I connected with people who were way above my pay grade, so to speak, as far as authority and influence. You know, my list was like 300 people, but I was able to connect with Michael Port. I did some stuff for Milana Lashinsky, and she was doing six figures and multiple six figures, and I had a piddly little list. I remember early on, I did a video. Anyway, I don't want to go on and on, but when I look back, when you know how to get your magic and your genius and your secret sauce, like the branding, Andrea, or you know, her thing. When you're able to get that out in video, people notice, they respond, and it's not just building a list, it's the opportunities.
Yeah.
You're able to connect with people. People connect with you at a far faster rate than you would normally.
Absolutely. So it's really, you know, and even for introverts like me, it's a great way to connect and you know, make those opportunities happen. So
correct.
So to it.
I wanted to, because I'm really excited Lou finally created this book. He's been wanting to do it for years. Everyone else has been wanting him to do it for years. I have a little bonus I wanted to add for those of you who buy through finding out on this webinar. Drop Lou a note and let him know that you bought through this webinar, and he'll send you, I'm offering a couple of my bonuses. One is I have, you know, a lot of you are saying, so if I can use a video to do a launch, that's awesome, but how do I schedule and structure the launch? So as a bonus, I'm going to give you, I have a bonus PDF. It's straightforward, it's step-by-step, showing you all the emails you need to send in order to do a simple launch using a webinar. And you can do that webinar, you can broadcast that webinar live using a lot of, you know, Zoom, GoToMeeting, even on Facebook Live, a lot of these video tools. So Lou's going to give you the lowdown on how to actually create the video and profit from it. And I'm just throwing a little extra stuff in there. If you want to do a video launch using a webinar, how you would schedule that, there's actually a calendar showing when you send each email and a short description of every email. I also want to give you, because this is really crucial in being able to create passive revenue online, I have a bonus with 7 keys to creating powerful bonuses for your programs. Bonuses are not just stuff, oh, I did this thing 20 years ago, and it has nothing to do with my course, but it looks really impressive. No, bonuses, there's 7 specific things that you need to have in your bonuses that can increase your sales. So I'm adding those 2 little extras, so be sure to drop Lou a note once you've purchased his book. And maybe the best thing to do is for them to forward a receipt from Amazon or wherever they buy the book to you, saying, I bought the book through watching this Facebook Live, and you're going to get the webinar schedule and email summary, and you're also going to get the 7 keys to profitable bonuses.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, there are times when I've purchased things just for the bonuses.
Exactly.
So really powerful.
Exactly. And a lot of times the bonus, if you're sitting, you know, a lot of times people are sitting on the fence. They may buy your thing, they may not, and the bonus is actually what tips them to say yes.
Yep. Awesome. Well, I'm going to and stop the screen share so we can be on camera again. And
hey, there we are.
Thanks again for allowing me to chat with your folks. And this is fun, and I love talking about this video stuff because it's so much easier now than it was even 6 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my email address, that's a good idea. How do you send it? Is just use vip@loubortone.com. We'll put it in the comments underneath to contact me with that info that if you want Rob's bonus.
And we'll get you the webinar calendar, the webinar launch calendar with the rundown of the emails you send, plus the 7 keys to profitable bonuses. I don't know if that's the exact title, but that's what that's what it is. 7 keys to profit.
That's cool. Bonuses. I'm going to buy a book and then send you.
Yes. But this is really, guys, I'm just, you know, Lou did not jump on the video bandwagon. This isn't a biz op for him. It's not like, oh, everyone's doing video, so I guess I'll be a video guru. Lou is kind of the video guru before there were video gurus. And he's worked with a lot of people. He knows a lot of people. A lot of people know him and look to him for the real lowdown on how this works, how you can make money, and how you can not just be internet famous, but make money with your video, and the best ways to be able to maximize it. And so Lou has the knowledge and he's compiled it in a book. For those of you who may want to go deeper with Lou, he's an amazing marketing strategist. He can help you with a lot of actually planning out how to use video. He works with people one-on-one. So start with the book, and I truly believe you can't go wrong by doing that.
Thank you. Well, I'm really grateful for the opportunity, Rob. I appreciate it. It was good to see you again, and
awesome.
Let's something again soon.
Yeah, this reminds me when I think the first time we did this was on Tiny Chat. Remember Tiny Chat?
Oh my God! Yeah, talk about come and go. And I may have been dressed up as Moses at the time. I don't recall, but
yeah, that was an old. Yeah, we did a crazy thing. But anyway, so the book is Video Marketing Rules. Say the URL one more time.
loubortone.com/rules will bring you right to the Amazon page.
Awesome.
And Al, yes, I guess we will post a replay. And thank you for thanks for the opportunity, and thanks for being here.
All right. So take care, everyone. Thank you so much, Lou, for doing this for my folks. And go out and add Video Marketing Rules to your library and go out and make money with video.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Take care, everyone.